really happened. It happened on Saturday, and there was no real response to it. And yesterday, we saw once again Winston Churchill's statue defaced and a chanting crowd around it. We saw the cenotaph abused, some yob trying to even set fire to the Union flag on it. We saw a statue of somebody in Bristol, a former slave trader, but torn down by the mob, standing, chanting, screaming, throwing it into the river. And the response to all of this, well, the police officers in Bristol, the senior Avon and Somerset police officer, says he has no regrets about not intervening. We even in London had seen last Wednesday police officers take the knee in support and sympathy with the aims of the protesters. Well, that's all well and good until you realise that actually the lack of leadership from the police, a lack of leadership from the church, the Archbishop of Canterbury, basically taking the side of the protesters, from Boris Johnson, absolutely, nothing. A tweet came out late last night saying that the protests have been hijacked by thugs. And it really leaves me wondering, where is the leadership in this country? Well, at least we got something today from Priti Patel in the House of Commons.
I agree with the many peaceful protesters that racism has absolutely no place in our society. Black Lives Matter. But police brutality in the United States is no excuse for the violence against our brave police officers at home. So to the quiet, law-abiding majority who are appalled by this violence and have continued to live their lives within the rules, I hear you. To the police who have been subject to the most dreadful abuse, you have my full backing as you act proportionately, fairly and courageously to maintain law and order. And to the criminal minority who have subverted this cause with their thuggery, I simply say this: your behaviour is shameful and you will face justice.
Well, that was Priti Patel. You will face justice. I wonder what the person who tried to set fire to the Union flag on the cenotaph, I wonder whether he'll actually be charged, because so far I can't see a single arrest of anybody involved directly with the defacing of war memorials or statues. I'm looking forward to it. And as for facing justice, I suspect people will get very, very short sentences. I'm pleased that Priti Patel backed the police forces. I feel very sorry for the fact that 50 of them, over 50 of them, have been injured, and some of them seriously. But there was Priti Patel again saying Black Lives Matter, which in a way almost gives support to the organisation. It's not the cause I'm fighting, it's the organisation, the Marxist organisation. Now, strangely, Keir Starmer didn't say anything about this yesterday, but he was on exclusively this morning with Nick Ferrari on LBC, and when he was asked about the Bristol protest, this is what he said.
Yeah, shouldn't have been done in that way. Completely wrong to pull a statue down like that. But stepping back, that statue should have been brought down should have been taken down a long, long time ago.
So there's Keir Starmer actually defending law and order, which I think is the right place for a Labour leader to be. I'm not so sure Jeremy Corbyn would have answered the question in that way. As for the statue, should have been taken down a long time ago. Well, you know what? We're talking about the slave trade. We're talking about something that the entirety of the British establishment supported, big business supported, that made Bristol what it was, that made Liverpool what it was, and was opposed by Wilberforce and a few people who were written off as being lunatics and extremists and very, very dangerous people. But when you say, Sir Keir, that you think that statue should have gone some time ago, if you go down that route, you will finish up tearing down every single statue and historical monument in this country, because you'll say, well, Oliver Cromwell, he's outside Parliament. What about the massacres that took place in Ireland when he was the Lord Protector? You can go to other political figures and say they were part of the British Empire. They didn't support votes for women. The list is endless. History is history. All we can do is to control our present and our future, not to try and change the past. Let's get back to